that's what's recording right now. Well, hello and welcome people of the internet back to another Darkchaser Battletide video. Today we're going to be playing with the Frost Witch because I think it's the best character that we haven't played so far. To unlock this character, we got to reach 50 ability power, which apparently we haven't done yet. Don't look over here. That's not unlocked. Don't worry about that. So, Frost Witch, we lose 30% damage. That kind of sucks, but skills will additionally cost 15 Icy. Well, what does Icy do? Icy, basically, as you apply Icy to enemies, will build up stacks. Once you get up to 100, they will enter the frozen state. Before that, it will slow them down. Once they're frozen, you can kind of guess what that is. And then I believe the translation is a little weird when it comes to frozen, but what I think happens is once they become unfrozen, they take some like shatter damage. Now I think for most weapons that this just happens over time. However, with the weapon that we're going to be playing here, which is Frost Chop, it looks like frozen enemies, if we hit them, will break the ice and do them, I'm assuming, that shattered damage. One of the reasons we're going for Frost Chop, because it might look a little bit weird because it scales a bunch off of attack damage, and you'd think that we just want to be scaling our ability damage. However, I looked at the Frost Witch's talent tree, and first of all, she has a couple talents that give you like +2 attack and +1 ability. So there's that. She scales multiple ways. But she also has some talents that scale her attack directly off of how much ability power she has. And so because of that, I want something that kind of leans into both damage types. We could have gone with something like... Is there anything else that's mixed? I guess there's Ice Spike, but that doesn't seem all too great. That's really it. Initially, I was going to go with Frost Ray because either that or Chain Frost seemed like the best option. Because it scaled so high off of her ability power, and I figured that's how we're going to be scaling. But after doing a few tests, I think Frost Chop is going to be the way to go. I haven't tried it yet, but I feel like this might do it. We can't go for attack speed with this weapon. Attack speed is not going to affect this weapon at all, as it's in its description. But as we upgrade it through the tiers, it will get a shortened cooldown, but it will also get some range, which will help us out, because it does have a pretty short range. So I think also having just one weapon to rely on will help us in upgrading them, you know, since we're going to be more, not incentivized, what's the word I'm looking for? The shop is basically going to focus that weapon as opposed to other ones. So here we have, so you see here, a powerful 2 attack, 1 ability power. I think it's this one. Yeah, +1 attack for every 5 ability power. So if we wanted to do that, we could. I think that's the only one. Yeah, that's the only other one. So yeah, we're going to go for powerful. We're going to get that maxed out. And unfortunately, a whole bunch of melee weapons. We don't want to do that. Although we do have, let's see, we have the Martial tag as well, which gets us max HP and defense. Okay, so that's not super important. So let's go ahead and re-roll. There's another Frost Chop scroll. We'll take that. Not too keen on the HP regeneration as of right now. And do we want the attack speed? Might as well. We're already so far down. No, I don't want to hurt my damage more. I think I want to fix this. I want to get this closer to 0. So we'll hold off on that. Oh, and attack speed. I can't even do that. I knew that was going to happen. I absolutely knew that was going to happen. So that was literally just going to be two negative factors. All right, let's not forget about that whole attack speed thing. I literally just talked about it, but my brain can only do so many things at a time. Okay. Keep going here for powerful. What else we got? Max HP harvesting, but then we lose our attack. That's not too bad though, right? Because we're going more for ability power. Yeah, so let's grab that. We want to make sure that we have a decent HP at the start. Anything else? There's another Frost Chop. Perfect. And, well, that's all we can buy. We're going to have to get some harvesting too. We got to get our economy under control. Or under control, we got to get it flowing. We got to get that baby flowing like a river. There was a character I was playing. So I was playing the I think it's the merchant character. In order to get that the spicy unlock that you guys haven't seen yet. I wasn't so basically there were 2 characters that I hadn't unlocked yet. One of which is what we're trying to unlock right now. Oh, there's harvesting, but we lose a little bit of damage. I think I'm okay with that, though. I think I'm okay with the 2%. Let's get one more reroll. Nice, in the frost drop. I wasn't sure exactly how to unlock the last character, or the second to last character, I guess, which is the Bard, because the translation to me seemed a little bit weird. Basically, it said you had to reroll 10 times and not buy anything. That seemed easy enough. The weird part was it said in a 1-level store, and I wasn't exactly sure what that meant. I wasn't sure if that meant do it on difficulty 1, although that was doubtful. I assumed that it meant do it all in one time, so you couldn't, like, go into a shop, reroll 5 times, and then go into combat, go back into the shop, reroll 5 more times. I think that is what it's implying. I did do all the rerolls at one time, and I got the achievement, and it worked out for me. So this is great, just 8% damage. And we're going to lock that in. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So I was doing some tests just to see exactly how it's done. But so I can confirm that if you just do 10 rerolls in one shop, you'll get it. And that if you have free rerolls, counts as well. The merchant is basically all about economy, and she's actually a pretty sweet character to play because you have a lot of options with her. But as I was playing around with her, yeah, I unlocked the Bard. Okay. Oh, no, 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 give me the goblin, give me... Perfect, okay. And so I feel like this last character it looked like it might be a king. Speed, ability, power, but we lose a little bit of harvesting, I think. So that's fine. There we go. So we got plus 14 attack, plus 7 ability. Oh, I got one more. Okay. So then let's go for... I think I'm just doing double major. Yeah. Let's get that. Another frost shop. Perfect. I'm going to combine these. So that way we have more green ones. Okay, so I'm actually going to lock this. I'm going to buy this next time, and I'm going to do this so that way we get more damage, but we also get more enemies. Okay, so we're at minus 19 damage. So really, with the Ice Queen here, or the Snow Queen, or Ice Queen, Frost Witch, neither. Like, oh brother, you know, her second ability that adds 15 icy to the weapons is not kind of at its best here, right? So I feel like there's kind of two different ways you could go with this character. You could either go the damage route, which is the route that we're taking, or you could go with the route that is better at applying icy and frozen. So you'd probably want something with a really short cooldown if you're going for that icy route. Right, and the weapons with the shorter cooldown might not apply a lot of icy themselves, but because you have that additional 15 icy with her, you might be able to do a decent, build there. Let's see. Nothing here. We could go with this, which would even out our crit chance. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. Not doing any of this. Kind of fine. This is pretty good. We'll lock that in. Grab the pickup range. Ability power. Yep. Okay. Right, because, like, we don't care, like, well, while icy might be fine on some tougher enemies and just, like, getting them frozen, we don't really care about the bonus, right? Because this weapon is doing 50 icy each hit, and so it takes 2 hits, so the difference between, 50 a hit and 65 a hit, it still is going to take 2 hits to freeze an enemy. That being said, we are smoking these guys. Okay, let's get the extra experience. We're in negative for luck. That's a bummer. Do, I think, one more. Ugh, this is a bad shot. All right, I don't want to spend too much on rerolls. Just have nothing show up. So I think, oh man, was it in the last Darkchaser video I recorded? I don't remember how many videos ago it was, but I talked a little bit about how I was going to build a new PC over the weekend, or I had gotten all the parts in. I was just kind of waiting for an extended period to build it, because you never know what's going to come up. You know, you might have some hardware issues, and thank God this has never happened to me. But I've never had a part come in that's dead on arrival. So, because I have a really bad habit when I build computers. Hang on. Ability power, attack speed. We lose some damage, but I think that's kind of fine. Because we get guys like that. We can get this. We can do the harvesting. More harvesting. Ability power. That's fine. Okay, so we're probably not just going to be building in a crit chance. Let's save the rest here. A bad habit of mine is that I haven't I typically, and you guys are going to yell at me if you're into building PCs, I don't test my parts before, like, doing the build. I know that's an awful habit to have. I've just never done it. I guess I've been very lucky that all my builds, I don't have any dead on arrival parts. But what does happen is, if you've never built a PC before, the hard thing is that or not necessarily the hard thing, but what can kind of get in the way sometimes is that there's no instructions on how to build it, right? Now, for the most part, pretty much every computer you build is going to be the same in terms of what parts you need, meaning that every PC is going to have a processor. There's going to be some exceptions to some of these, but every computer you build is going to have the CPU, the processor. Everyone is going to have a graphics card. Everyone's going to have a motherboard, a power supply, RAM, cooling units, meaning fans. And so as far as that goes, let's see, what do we want here? One ice blade at the beginning of battle. Ice blade has 50% chance to launch an ice arrow against a nearby when you release a skill. Oh, that seems pretty good. Yeah. Earn one ice blade at the beginning of battle. So if I get a second one, how does that work? So do these stack, meaning like once I use them, they go away? Or there's now 50% chances to launch an ice arrow? We'll see. Do I want to do this? My defense is not the greatest, so I'm a little hesitant to do this. Here's some more max HP. We get more mushrooms, more max HP. HP regen, speed ability power, attack speed and damage. Yep, that's fine. Ability power, that's great. Store discount is great. HP from consumables. Okay, this is a good shop for us. Oh, interesting. Oh, dude, this is sick. Yeah, so there's no instructions, right? Because every PC is basically the same. The processor is basically going to go in the same spot on every motherboard. That's always going to be the same. Graphics card, always going to go in pretty much the same spot. What always gets me is, depending on what case you're building in, there's going to be some differences. There's going to be some differences in motherboards. So, for example, I've always built an Intel. Dude, the difference in putting on, oh god, A CPU cooler on an AMD motherboard versus Intel is night and day. Intel has these stupid backplates on the backside of their motherboards. AMD just screws into the front. So much easier. But the case I bought has a slightly different topside mounting system for radiators, which I messed up on like several times. So I bought the height Y60, I think it is. Yeah, so let's get more of these. These are great. More damage to slow enemies. Yeah, I think we can get that. Get a little, yeah, let's get a little bit of defense. Max HP. Yeah, we'll grab that. Let's go ahead and grab the broom. Let's grab the star. Frost Chop we can't do. We'll combine, grab that. Attack range, that's pretty great. Fire arrow, sure. Oh, nice, and 2 frost drops. And do I want this as well? I do. So I ended up putting on my radiator like 4 different times. I had to like keep taking it apart and putting it back on because like I put it on normally the first time, then I realized the radiator, like, there's a separator on the top that you're supposed to put it on, so, like, I put the radiator underneath that separator, it needed to go on top, so then I flipped it, but then I had the fans didn't have an indicator of which side was push and pull, so then I had to, like, redo it and put them on. It was, like, a whole thing. It basically, I put together the radiator, like, 4 times when I should have only had to do it once. You know, like I kept putting my graphics card in and then realizing that I had other things I had to plug into the motherboard and I couldn't get to them because I had put on the graphics card first. So there's a lot of like putting things on, realizing that you need to get to something behind the part that you just put on, so you take it off. It was just like poor planning on you know, my aspect, just because there were a couple things that are new to me that I was playing with. So, one, I got these new, what are they? They're the Lian Li version 2 120mm fans, which are sick because you can daisy chain them all together just by having them touch. So I don't have a million different fan cables going to my motherboard, which is incredible. You can just have one cable. But that meant there was some kind of learning curve as to how these kind of things stack together. What's my attack range? Yeah, so I'm still working on fixing this damage. I meant to reroll there. Derp. Wait, is this a new enemy? No, I don't think so. I think it's just been a long time since I fought it. But unfortunately, I did. Of course, it always happens. Every time I build a computer, I forget to buy something. So I'm missing 2 140mm fans for the bottom of my case. Luckily, the case came with 220s in the bottom. But just for like style purposes, I mean, I want the well, first of all, I want the 140s because of the way that I have my push-pull set up. Just want more air coming in through the bottom. But also, the bottom of the case is just a little bare. There's no like RGB in the bottom. And I'm not going crazy with RGB. I'm just going for a clean like black and white build. Basically everything in the case is black for the most part. And then I have the Lian Li fan set to white, which is each time a monster receives ice breaking damage, monster's damage for the next 5 seconds. I don't know why it says the monster's damage. I feel like it's good for us. It's one of those things like I think it's just worded incorrectly, but it's still beneficial for us. Frozen time. Enemies in an icy state have a 10% chance to drop an additional crystal. Ooh. After being hit, move randomly to a place on the map and get shield. This, I feel like, is going to mess with my head so much. Nah, let's go for the extra crystals. 1 attack can destroy mushrooms. Yeah, let's do that. Let's combine these. Grab this. Grab this. Speed ability power. Where are we at for ability power? We're at 28. Oh god, I gotta crank out some ability power. Yeah, so some of this stuff I'm going to end up passing up on. Like this I would normally take, but I'm going to pass up on it just because I'm looking for things that specifically give me ability power. Like this I should probably just take because it's good. So I don't know when this video is going up, but after I get those two 140 fans, I'll put up a post. You know, I'll put up a picture just in case anyone wants to see my build. You know, I'll put it as a community post. So you may have already seen that post depending on, like, you know, when I get those fans coming in and when this video goes up. But I'll have all the details of my build in that post just in case anyone's curious of like what I have in my system. But the nice thing is, too, it's so much quieter than my old one. I think my old power supply was dying. It was just like, it was clicking all the time, and it was just really obnoxious. And now I don't have that. It's just nice and clean, and I have all one color RGB. Before, I had a really weird system. Attack range is great for us. Do I have anything that can increase ability power anymore? I think I've already used all of it. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Is there anything here? No. Okay, so I just need to go hard for ability power, although there is like these frost chops that I want. There we go. So lock in that 4, because we're at 29. Attack speed doesn't do anything, so don't bother with that. I had like this really weird mishmash of a system because I didn't do like a full build for my PC that I've been using for the past couple years. It was kind of like a half and half build where I had parts of a build that was like all black and then just kind of random colored RGB. I think I was kind of doing like a purple theme, like a black and purple. And then I bought the Lian Li, what was it? It was the one that everyone was buying. If you look up Lian Li case, you probably know. It was white, had like all glass on one side. But I had like this mix of white and black parts because I had like this white thing going. But then I ended up buying the MSI Supreme 4090 Liquid, and which of course is all black. Well, god dang, man. That's what happens when you talk and play. Alright, well, let's try that again. And by let's try that again, I mean, I've tried this multiple times. Forcing ability power on this character is just not the way to go. So, I've tried recording this specific run a couple times now. There's not enough... I'm still going to take this. Like, it's not that I'm not going to take ability power, but I'm not going to take everything and specifically look for things that say ability power. It's just not worth it. There's not enough. There's not enough relics here to give you attack power. There just isn't. So I'm going to lock in both of these. So I need to work a little bit more on getting some defensive stuff. One of the things that I've found as of recording this, because there's probably like an hour in between the first half of this video and the second half, is that I just haven't had enough like defensive power. The offense has been okay, but the thing that I've been finding here after doing this multiple times is that, first of all, there's way more relics that give you attack versus ability power. And I don't care about any of this. And what was the second? There was something else. The fact that there's way more... Oh, well, first of all, there's way more relics that give you attack than there are ability power. But not only that, there's a lot more relics that give you more attack than you do ability power. You know, every time there's like a relic, this is a bit more specific, but when there are relics that give you both attack and ability power, they give you like 2-to-1 scaling in terms of attack. And I mean, this is a bit more character specific. Let's see here. Yeah, so we're gonna take that. Let's reroll. Take the attack range. I don't want to hurt our HP recovery too much, because then those jades are just going to be useless. But I think in just kind of like trying to force the ability power to unlock the last character, I think I've just been doing myself too much damage. I think I've been re-rolling past a lot of items that are really good, simply because they don't have ability power, because I've been trying to force that. And I just don't think it's worth it. I've made the joke several times now in trying to record the second half of this video. I've been like, we're just going to force it. And it's like, nope. Nope. It's not working. It's not working for you. Just stop while you're ahead. And I've never been ahead so far. So it's just like, it's not worth it. We'll do it with a different character. Because, like, we can have a really sweet build with this character. Unfortunately, it's just not going to be in the way that I thought we were going to. And it's not for lack of trying, it's just for lack of, there's not enough relics in the game to make it work. At least with this character, I'll say, right? So there's going to be characters that will scale ability power, but it is not this one. Temper chance of attack with burn. I wonder if burn... Ugh, I hope burn doesn't cancel out freeze. That would be unfortunate. Don't care for any of this. This Mandrake is fine. None of that was good. Frost Drop is great. This one... Well, I've never seen this. This is a pretty good way to get attack and ability power. Take that. Hand crossbow's pretty bad for us. There's also a very strange... Well, to be fair, there's been a lot of strange text-based stuff in this game because the English is not so great. But if we take a look at freeze, we'll take a look at it once we jump back into the shop. Yeah, so let's grab this. So if we take a look at freeze here, down at the bottom, it says deals damage only to bosses' elites. Well, you can't freeze bosses, so this specifically does not affect bosses and elites. So that's a little weird. Store discount. Since our economy's not super great. And especially if we're going to try and get our luck up a little bit to get better items. Those better items are going to be more expensive, so we're going to get bigger discount from there. Or, I guess to be more specific, the discount will be the same, but the percentage that we're saving will be... Or, to be even more specific, the amount that we are saving based on the percentage of the total value will be greater. I don't know why I feel the need to be that specific. I don't know. Maybe it's just good practice to be specific in how you speak. I always let's be honest. I'm kind of... Oh, man. And my luck... Hold up. My luck is bad. I didn't realize that. You know, I kind of joke around. I'll joke around a lot with my coworker. And some of it is kind of jokey. Some of it is a bit more serious. How do I explain it? She likes to not be super specific even when she thinks she is. So, for example, so I work in commercial production, right? And okay, here's a great example that I can think of that was recent. We were looking over a script for an upcoming commercial. And she asked me to come into her office, and she just asked me, "What do you think?" That was literally the question. She put the script in front of me and just said, "What do you think?" And my response was, "I think it's fine. I think the messaging..." And there was some more specifics in there that I gave, but ultimately my answer was just kind of like, "I think it's fine." Because my interpretation of that question was, what do you think of the script? Like, is it, like, is the messaging good? Is the writing good? And so I was like, yeah, it's fine. And then a couple days later, we were talking about more specifically, like, how we were going to shoot it, how we're going to set up. Oh, we were packing up, or I was packing up because I pack up all the gear. And I was looking at some small, like really small lights we have. They're smaller. They're about the size of a cell phone. And I was just thinking for, like, you know, accent highlights or something like that. And it was something that I hadn't necessarily thought about when I looked at the script. And so I just kind of said, like, you know, I wish I had charged these, but I wasn't thinking about, you know, like, whether we would need them, because we never really bring them with us. It's very rare that we actually use those lights. And she goes, well, I guess you didn't think about that when I asked you, you know, the other day. And I was like, when did you ever ask me if I was going to bring these lights? She was like, when I asked you to look over the script and see what gear we needed. And I was like, I was like, you never asked me that. And she's like, yes, I asked you to come to my office and look at the script and see what we needed for the day of the shoot. And I was like, no. You asked me what I thought. And she's like, yes, that was included in asking what you thought was what kind of gear we needed. Is it possible to shoot this? Is it, you know, are there going to be any problems with shooting it? And I was like, no. You can't, I can't let you get away with that. You got to be way more specific if that's what you wanted out of me. And we have a lot of situations like that. Like, we are friends, but man, the way that we both communicate is so different that half the time we just talk past each other. This is great. I've picked this up before. I think it might have been in the last video I picked this up. This is great. We're taking this. Mechanical arm. That's also great. And I don't want this to come across this following statement. It's not like, I feel like there's some people who are going to be like, that's a sexist statement. It's not. I think men and women just communicate very differently, because I told that same story to my parents, and exactly what I thought was going to happen happened. My dad was like, yeah, I totally understand that. My mom was like, I don't understand what the problem is. It's like, yeah, okay, we figured it out. It's not a me versus you thing. It's just it's a man versus woman thing. It's like, I'm not gonna read into your comment like three depths down. Like, this isn't Inception, right? We're not going from a dream into a dream into a dream into a dream. It's like, tell me how it is. Make it, you know, explain like I'm 5. Right? I'm gonna take the words you say extremely literally. And I'm not going to read past your statement. I'm not going to play games with it. You know, if you ask me... Ooh, that's pretty good. You know, if you ask me to do something, like if you ask me to work on a project to do something, and you don't include, you know, directions, you know, D, E, and F, and you gave me A, B, C, and then when I give you the project, and you're like, well, why didn't you do this? It's like, well, you didn't tell me to do that. You told me to do this, and that's what I've provided to you. All right, what do we want here? Nothing here. Ooh, this one's pretty good. We're gonna do that. I think it might be... Oh, it's enemies defeated, so we'll take that. We'll get this. We'll get this. But it isn't just a man versus woman thing. My boss, who is a man, you know, he does the same thing where he expects you to read his mind, and he'll explain a project to me, and I'm like, okay, I can do that. And then after I do it, he's like, well, you didn't do this, this, and this. And it's like, well, you didn't ask me to do this, this, and that. You asked me to do this, that, and the other. It's like, I can't read your mind. I don't know what you're expecting. So, you know, and I'll ask some clarifying questions, but if you don't tell me exactly what you want, I can't help you. I'm not a mind reader. You know, the same thing happened with that, for those of you guys who have been here for a little while. I'm not going to tell the full story again, but that happened with the past roommate I had who, you know, well, my landlord removed him. Or not necessarily removed him, just didn't re-sign his lease. But he got all pissed off at me because of something that he never told me. And I was like, dude, I can't read your mind. Like, you have to tell me if something is bothering you. Oh, man, this boss is super annoying. Okay, this might just be a run away from this boss. Oh, man. Frick, man. Why does it have to be this one? I'm fine with these projectiles, these solid red ones, but he shoots out these ones that are... Yeah, these, that are hard to see. Okay, so the ice blades are overpowered as heck. They literally just single-handedly killed him. This seems... Man, do I want to tank my speed that bad, though? It's going to put me in the positive for... Okay, screw it. Okay, what are we getting here? Oh, yeah, the only one that I've been... So the only one that I've been getting... You know what? I've been getting this. I want to see how good this is. Maybe if we build up our HP enough. Because if we're getting... What was it? We're getting... No. It's here. Get a shield with a maximum life value of 20%. Well, 20% of what? Of our max life? So if we get our max HP up, maybe that's going to be good. I am very surprised we got out of that one alive. It's simply, like, it's just that secondary projectile attack is just, it's very difficult to see. But on top of that, he has, like, that shotgun blast of projectiles that if it's coming, like, straight at you, unless you're pretty close to the edge, it's... Yeah, okay, I thought that was going to be disorienting. Okay, apologies for anyone who thinks that's extremely disorienting. Because I agree. I guess the thing that I'm concerned about is, like, are you just going to throw me into a space where I'm completely surrounded by enemies? Or are you going to put me in a... Like, does the game's AI know to put me in a safe place or not? So far, it has... Dodge. Well, our dodge is garbage. So Tesla coils are actually pretty good. And since I'm not forcing the ability power, I am going to go for that. Get more mushrooms. I'm going to go with the behemoth thing. We have, I mean, it's an okay amount of crit. I mean, it's not great. Obviously, I would like more, but in order to justify it, I think it's fine. God, that is so weird. It's so weird. There are definitely some, I will say that most of the skill trees I found are pretty thematic and are pretty good at, you know, capturing the spirit of each class. There are definitely some that are a little weird. Like this one to me doesn't feel like, I mean, I guess she is a witch, but I don't know. It doesn't feel so like frost witchy. Okay, I'm going to start putting in here for a little bit of extra crystals. Yeah, it doesn't feel so frost witchy. I still don't know what, I still have no idea what flea is. Still have zero idea. Let's see. Do we want this? Yeah, I'm going to grab that. So this one, we don't get the attack speed. It's just the damage, so I'm going to pass up on it. There was something else I wanted to add on to that topic, though. What was it, though? The fact that some of the abilities are not thematic, but a lot of them are. Unfortunate. I don't recall. But I do really like the talent level up system. It's a cool twist to the Rotato style game. And they do, like, each one, I think what's really good about it is each one does make each character feel dramatically different. Even though there is a lot of overlap with weapons, there's a lot of different playstyles among the characters. I don't really want that. This one's fine. I will take that, though. Yeah, we'll take the bread. Where's my weapons? Where are my weapons? Ooh, there we go. Gotta lock that in, though. That was weird. I'm so used to the camera moving dramatically whenever I teleport, but it teleported me and the camera stayed the same, but I was like, where did my character go? Just like, just zoop. right over. At least we get some shield out of it. That's fine. Explosion damage. Don't care about that. Don't care about that either. Okay, so let's combine these. Get another Frost Chop. Oh. Oh. Got some fun stuff here. I hit the wrong button again, you dingus. Alright, what do we have for an elite? What are we fighting? Oh, this chick? I think this chick is fine. I don't remember exactly. I know she does a laser, but I forgot her full moveset. Oh, God, other way. Okay, well, our damage is really good. Like, I think this character has a pretty decent skill setup for a no move build. You know, she has a lot of talents that like increase her pickup range. I think increase. What else does she increase? She increases a couple things when you don't move. I think is defense one or is dodge one? I don't recall, but you could probably do a decent no move challenge with her. Ooh, ooh, like that. Yeah, see, and you have a lot of relics here that do interact with not moving. Okay, so what do we have? Breaking ice deals additional damage equal to target's lost HP. Ice explosion occurs when hit. Cooling for 4 seconds. Missile hits frozen. I don't know what half of these do, just because, honestly, I'm just going to take Piercing Cold, because it's the only one I kind of understand. Right? Like, this one, we're already exploding, right? Our weapon already does this, so we don't need to do this. I don't know what the cooling for 4 seconds mean. Maybe it means that they stay in icy. When a monster is frozen, it gains character level shield. So I think that means we gain shield. Missile hits frozen units with an additional 20% chance to eject once. So if you hit a frozen unit with a projectile, 20% chance to basically chain lightning off of it, I think. This one's really great. We're actually... Oh, man, that's unfortunate. So this only affects our damage. It doesn't affect our attack speed. Oh, this guy's busted. Oh, this is I don't think I've seen this one before. Blade Storm? I don't think I've seen this weapon before. You know what? No, I'm not going to go for this because we're not really going for a summon build. It's cool. Don't get me wrong. Gonna lock that in. Crit chance and attack speed. I think that an attack range, I think that's worth grabbing. Even though we don't get the attack speed. Although maybe it's better not to pick that up. Because really, now that we have full ice blades, we don't really need to worry about hitting enemies at range. Because our ice blades are taking care of all that range damage, and then by the time they get to us, we just like kill them in one hit. Yeah, so I think, even though I locked it, I think I'm going to pass up on it. Because then it's really just worrying about the crit chance. And I don't think I have to worry about that so much. So I'd rather spend the crystals on something else. This is great for us, though. We lose some attack range, but yeah, that's fine. Don't care about that. Yeah, so we'll buy this. Don't care about this anymore. We lose some ability power, gain speed, gain a bunch of attack range. No, I just said I don't really care about that. Do one more. Luckstar, we'll buy that. Buy the glass cannon. I'll buy the Behemoth Fang. Our healing's fixed. If it wasn't already. Yeah, you know, it's crazy. When you don't spend your time and your resources just mindlessly re-rolling, trying to force a build that just is not going to work. You know, you get builds that do kind of work. They do kind of work with what you want to do. But yeah, I'm hoping that in the full game, this game is in early access, right? I'm not crazy. So I looked at all the relics before starting recording this, and there are, god dang it, there are a lot of relics that are currently locked, and there are not enough achievements to unlock them all. So I'm assuming that there's a number of relics that are just not available in this version of the game. So hopefully they'll be unlocked at some point. So pick that up, pick that up, pick that up. Reroll, pick this up. This seems pretty good for us. I'm gonna lock that in. All right, Mr. Dargan. Come on, Dargan. Oh my god, Dargan died so fast. Wow. Okay. Ice Bloom. Cool. Yeah, that we did quite a bit of damage. Yes, we get 74 out of there, and then we got the Ice Blade. Yeah, I wish it showed how the damage was scaling off of this. But it doesn't. Yeah, that was pretty sweet build. Took me a few tries that you guys didn't actually see. But yeah, so trying to force the ability power, trying to get an additional 21 ability power in the same time frame, it's just like not feasible. That being said, this is a super fun character when you actually, you know, play her and not try and force something out of her. Well, I'll have to find another character that scales a little bit better with ability power. I figured she would. Looking at her weapons, I was like, oh, she has a lot of ability power weapons. She must scale pretty good with ability power. But no, she actually scales better with attack. So that's just kind of I think the better way to go with her. So I don't recall if I mentioned this. I don't think it was in this recording. I think it might have been another one. But if you're still here, I want to take a look at these achievements real quick. Where are they? Where are the achievements? Probably in the thing called achievement. There are a couple achievements here that there is just, I don't think there's any possible way you could complete this, right? Out of how much we've played, I'm at 317,000. In order to finish this, you need, what is this? This is 38 million? No, this is 3.8 billion, right? 900, 403,000. No, 384 million. Like, how are you ever supposed to do that? I don't think you are. I think that's just here for a joke. There are a couple here that obviously you can do. Buy 3 greedy dolls. Hold 10,000 crystals. That one, ooh, that would be pretty tough. You have to not really. That's actually probably a lot easier in endless to do. And then cumulative movement. Yeah, there's just like no way that you're ever completing these. So we almost have all the achievements done. And so if we take a look in the gallery here, right, there's a lot of skills. There's a lot of weapons and skills here that we haven't even, I think we're only like halfway there, right? Yeah, a little bit over halfway there. And so I think these are just because it's in early access. So that's pretty cool that there's a bunch of abilities that we haven't even played with a lot of these. But there's a lot here that we haven't unlocked yet. And we take a look here at the relics, you know, 158 out of 255. So there's also a lot here. Now, to be fair, a lot of these are, it looks like, are PvP only. And so that's what? 2 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15. So 30. 30 plus an additional 12, so 42 of these. So if you cut this out, so 3, so 213 is our total. So that leaves another, what, 50 something of relics that we haven't seen yet that are probably not in for early access. And then we got one more character who's like that king character, I think. King-looking character. So yeah, I'll have to figure out something else to unlock that character. Maybe I just have to do another run with like Flame Knight. I think Flame Knight scaled off ability. Oh, but you know what? Looking at Flame Knight, I think he got Flame... Was it... let's see, scales damage. No, attack speed. Yeah, like he has Rampage Fire, but that's about it. Alright, so we'll have to figure out something. Maybe that's an endless thing. Maybe we'll do that in an endless run to unlock this character. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you had fun with me today, would you kindly smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for more roguelite action. I'm Ganyonz. Thank you so much for watching, and see y'all next time.